would say very true. And I'm just going to tell you that there's a lot of assumption. Have you noticed the gender bias here? Everybody's talking about only men. I mean, to all the women in this audience, we are not going to neglect you. We don't want to be ever seen here of being parochial, right, Mohita? Absolutely. So we're going to ask you this question. Where are the women's sports people who ought to be brands in this country? Everybody talks about, the fact that the future, the glass ceiling effect, etc. You have Sania Mirza, you have Saina Nehwal. Even in the world list, and that's an interesting aspect. If you look at the top athlete brands, if I was Mahendra Singh Dhoni's wife, I would be worried because he's very close to Maria Sharapova when it comes to the ranking in terms of, the number of 26 and 27. Where are the women being backed in terms of the sports achievements? Sania has won 2 Grand Slams, has been the national champion for years. Sana is doing brilliantly. They are talking about a film career. Where are the brands supporting them? Is there a bias, to be honest?
Well, I think the people in the audience are sort of experts at all of this because they do this day in and day out, right? They're dealing with brands, they're dealing with organizations and so on and so forth. I think as a brand custodian, I have a limited amount of resources with me, right? And I have to get the best bang for my buck. Mm-hmm. So I think at the end of the day, this is sounding, very ruthless and very parochial, as you put it, and so on and so forth. But it's all about commerce. And why we can talk about the long term, but as Windy Banga, somebody I admire hugely, said once, there is no long term without the short term. And when you have to keep your eye on the profit for the quarter, year on year, and that's what you get measured on, your long-term equity building behind brands that may not pay off is obviously something that gets relegated to the background.
Very well.